They don't give anything. They take everything and give nothing back. So cameraman, he needs a moment of sheer brilliance. Can he harness what he did at Atlanta, where he had a great play back then? Checking every corner, but it's not enough. Pamba with a finishing blow on Cafe. Dark Zero, one map up in this NA Derby.
The scoreline of 7-4 on Cafe. Dark Zero take what by all accounts is a convincing win there. Played better Siege on the night so far. And we were expecting that. We looked at the maps and we said, these are good maps for Dark Zero. We're expecting them to perform here. I wonder now what our desk thinks. What did they expect? We're going to send it over.
Thank you very much, Ollie and Demo. And yes, we are back. Dark Zero take the lead 1-0 on Cafe Dostoevsky against M80. But hey, welcome back to the desk. I'm Milos, with me are Jesse and Laxing. Gentlemen, let's break things down.
Strong showing on Cafe. This is Dark Zero's map pick, and at the start of that game, it looked like M80 were really starting to run away. They got the first 2 rounds, and we started thinking, okay, Spoid is showing up. He's shooting well today. We saw a little bit of goofiness in round 2 for Dark Zero, but then they start getting the plant down. They start playing shields. Dark Zero drop back to a 3-3 split going into the second half. And then we get to see Dark Zero's defenses, and they completely slam M80 through that second half, only giving up a single round.
Yeah, and Pamba having a really good game, but I just want to emphasize on DZ's playstyle. If you're going to play against an aggressive team, you have to meet them with that same aggression, or you have to play together, play those trades, play those crossfires, and force those engagements and end up walking away with those rounds, and DZ played that perfectly against M80.
Honestly, Dark Zero giving up 0 space on those defenses, always make sure they get those opening picks, contesting M80 early, not allowing them to get all of the top floor or all of this ground for free. They always had to fight for it, and they always lost bodies.
I mean, like you said, Pamazoo on top, but from the M80 side, things they looked a bit shaky, especially when we saw both Amonte and Blitz pick together. That was desperation.
To me, it goes into 100% desperation, is you aren't finding the success that you want, so you're going to try to force that play, but it goes into what I was just talking about of DZ playing into their strength of playing together and forcing crossfires that ultimately shuts that down.
Yeah, I mean, Demo said it on the cast. He didn't think he'd ever see Spoit playing Blitz, and after that, we probably won't ever see him playing it again.
Yeah, but, you know, we've seen a lot of shield play in this game. What if we've localized on it even more? Do we have a comparison, Jesse?
We do, Milos, because we saw this great shield play from Canadian in round number 6, where he literally sneaks the plant in under the noses of M80. He drops the hatch. The Warden inside of VIP not watching it. Noodle doesn't catch this. Cameraman's busy on his drone. He doesn't catch this. Nobody is aware, and that's the key thing for Dark Zero. They're so good at identifying those gaps, taking advantage of it, and by the time M80 realized what was going on, the damage had already been done. Canadian gets that down and then finds a couple of beautiful kills with the pistol end of this round as well.
And this is where the difference that I was talking about in comparing the 2 shield players of Kino and Canadian. Canadian is their IGL. He's going to be the one setting the team up for success and taking that initiative. And you can see when he jumped in there, he had Pamba immediately falling behind them. They end up securing the round. We're going to go into another video that shows how Kino ends up playing the shield. And when Kino ends up playing this shield, he does everything by himself. He's droning by himself. He's clearing by himself. You see right here, Troy catches him. Sure, he is pulling out the goo mine, but again, he could have had a teammate follow up on that. Maybe could have had a trade, but it goes into what I was talking about. M80 or Kino specifically plays a lot more of an aggressive shield than more of a passive, gaining that information and setting his team up for success.
With a team like Dark Zero, you can just slow things down and gain it to your advantage.
100%. And so when we look at the shield difference between both M80 and Dark Zero, both teams are great shield teams, right? I know Kino gets a lot of flack, but he is a good shield player.
Absolutely.
We saw Cameraman getting on it a little bit this game too. I do think they need to consider going into map 2, do we want to ban this out? Because while M80 are a good shield team, man, Canadian looks so good with it.
I think it just comes down to they just need to be a little more coordinated. If they want to use the shields and how strong shields are right now, they have to have the coordination and teamwork that DZ is displaying with their shield use.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. We'll need to look back at this once we get into map number 2, but we'll take a quick break. First of all, one more time is showing Operation New Blood.
This is what we've been training for.
There is no angle we can't cover. We are Rainbow.
Reporting for duty.
and Chalet is having that very strong operator in the form of the Ying.
Well, that's the flip side, isn't it? If you're going to take the Monty out, you're going to leave something else in. And in this instance, it is going to be the Ying that slips on through. The Dokkaebi removed there by Dark Zero. Not something that they want to be messing around with here on their defense of Chalet, which is the side that they will be starting on here. And they are putting a lot of attention into this setup. There's extensive lines of sight being set up there.
See now with DZ in their setup, obviously bringing the castle barricades. It's going to block away some of the important windows as well. Don't forget, you know, Chalet, a lot of windows. We've talked about the balconies you can play off, so there are certainly options that I would say DZ can have, just to have a bit more safety, of course. And whenever you're dealing with M80, where they can have a few rat players, you can go for those kind of cheese picks. Yeah, it's not a bad idea just to have that extra layer of protection.
Still firmly in the information gathering stage of the round. Drones getting placed in and around the map. Library, for the meanwhile, is clear, but it's almost a little bit of a trap. It's a bait and a switch because of how much of that wall is going to be open, how much of that line of sight is going to be available. And with the castle barricades in there, you've got to be able to deal with those castle barricades if you get in, because you don't want to get caught out there. They're going to see the wall open now. It's going to be Noodle to get that job done. Going to be able to get himself into the top of West Main there and get nicely established.
I wonder if the Canadian on the Capcan might be able to pick up something. I mean, we've seen a fair amount of that already today in the series that we cast at Ollie. There's Capcans left, right, and center, so it could be an option. But right now for M80, it's just very slow at the moment. It's just focusing on getting all of the walls open, and then you start to target those key positions, of course. NGR's going to come under a lot of fire, but he wins the first engagement against Noodle. Yings go in. Here comes the flank, though. Is anyone watching it on the side of M80? Cameraman finds Nath. Straight in through the breach. Kino will go. He's looking for the kill, and he gets it. On to NGR. Pamba, though, has found a flanking kill, but now his location is known.
Well, he can now start to use this breach against M80. He's got plenty of information to be going off here as well, and with Spoit so low, it's only going to take one bullet. Kino, he's going to start to try and get that plant down, removes the default camera. Pamba and Canadian, what are they able to cook up here? Spoit, he grabs Pamba there on the cross, and Canadian still playing from below. No C4 left, already used, and a very difficult retake on his hands here. He's trying to get to the top of Solar and get himself established in there, but it's always going to be difficult.
Oh, M80 feeling it now. First round on the board. That's always the most important one to set the tempo. Crowd rallying behind M80.
M80 look fired up.
I mean, they need to. One map and they're done. They need to win this map to push us in to map 3, into labs. If we get there is where it will be decided. I like the game plan from M80, using the Ying, a very strong operator. It was, a pretty generic attack on most parts of the way. I think most teams will attack that, but it's successful. You know, that's the recipe of success. If you can just copy that, then you get the consistency, and then you'll win games.
It's fine if it works.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. If it works, it's brilliant. They did a great job of getting a couple of opening picks, a really good job of opening that wall nice and early. And Dark Zero, they kind of gave a lot away over to M80 there. Not only in terms of space, but how easy it was for them to get that wall open. Everything's available to deny walls. You're not always going to bring it on Chalet because there's more value in other things. But there's still that, you know, is there a two-brow in the future, you know, just to sort of slow that down a little bit? Can you squeeze that into the lineup with what you bring in? Especially if you look over and you see, well, Canadians on the vigil. So yeah, sure, they might be playing the Deimos and stuff. You might be trying to keep yourself a little bit safe, but realistically, there might be a bit more room for utility in there. I
get that, but this is Canadians' kind of roaming bomb site that he likes to go for. It would be the Solus, but it has been banned away from him, so he thinks, okay, what's another operator that I can roam with that can also deny some form of drones? Oh, Vigil, that's going to be his pickup. So yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on Canadian, see how he wants to maneuver around this map. M80 again with a very aggressive lineup. And Spoit on the Finca. I think everyone knows what that boy did in Berlin on that operator. Look, not as strong back, you know, as what it used to be back in the day, but still, he can be a real demon on it.
Nath does have a C4 to use here, and he did look tempted for a time, but instead he's just going to take the utility soak, flashbang, the Lion Scan, and the Capital Ball, get himself dropped back into the site and keep himself safe. wasted a little bit of time. I say keep himself safe. He took a ton of damage there. It sounded like a nade that went off nearby. And it does still leave Bolo upstairs on that fireplace. He has got Pamba in tow, and with what Pamba's got set up for himself here, he's got a couple of nice little options.
It's a very significantly weaker bomb site to hold without the Azami, because you just cannot play in towards that fireplace as safely as what you would like. So I think DZ, they will be up against it, just based on the bans for this site specifically. Pamba now being tracked by the Deimos, and barely hit a drone right now, let alone see if he can eliminate the Deimos chasing him. Citizen just going to let him run away, though. Just trying to feed that information over to his side. Pamba relocates towards the solar stairs, waiting to see if anyone wants to try and swing in, but Noodle is on the prowl below. Another drone. Pamba, they just keep coming at him, and Noodle secures his kill. Pamba off the mark. Canadian with the vigil. Remember, he can't be tracked with the Deimos.
Does have a chance here at a nice little angle as well. It does just depend if the player on the roof gives themselves up a little bit. We do see another death mark coming on to Bolo here. It's not going to be too much of a surprise. You know that there's going to be someone on that fireplace. Now you just know who that player is.
Look at the time.
Citizen, he's got the read on this, but as you say, Demo, 9 players alive going into the final 30 seconds. A nade will be sent to try and displace Bolo. It's not going to do too much of a job. Instead, it just gives him an opportunity to swing. Can he find a second? No, it was Nath adding on to that pain. Bolo still in a great position here inside a library if he can just hold on, but no, cameraman comes in, picks off the headshot, but cameraman's got the kit and he's only got 10 seconds to get it down. NJR, he's still tucked into stock here. He's in a great spot to deny Noodle from walking on through. Cameraman needs to start getting that diffuser down, and NJR needs to prioritize. He grabs himself one. Can he get a headshot? Yes, he can!
Needle onto the top of the dome. NJR, the savior for DZ. So some big moments throughout this competition, and there's another one for the highlight reel. Just M80 too slow, not enough time to deal with everything that DZ had set up. Comes into the final 20 seconds, and there's still a shield, just sand connector.
The ferocity and the pace that we saw from DZ in round 1 was very short-lived. It did not transition there into round 2.
Great
what
C4.
A C4. I mean, Bolo probably gets the kill anyway, but it just guarantees it at that point.
Oh, so close.
I love how Mint's just watching on cool as a cucumber.
Oh, the guy just displays no emotion whatsoever. He's just there.
5 seconds to go.
Watching on as cool as you like.
You wouldn't know, watching his face, have they won the round? Have they thrown the round? Have they clutched the round? Have they won the trophy? We wouldn't know.
Very level-headed indeed. Down to the basement we go. A couple of players left on site right now. They have gone for quite the roam here. No Canadian placing those cap cans out. We've got Malusi with the Banshees, and we've got Legion. A very trap-orientated lineup. You're only really missing the Frost and the Thorn in there. What does all that do, Demo? It slows teams down. And if there's one thing that M80 were inside of round 2, it was slow.
Yeah. I think it just delays M80. They want to try and go for maybe a couple of little pocket plays. Just a trap will give the game up for them. So I do like the lineup. The inclusion of traps is always a strong one in Siege, because there ain't a whole lot of counterplay that you can really do for them. But do keep in mind, this is a basement, and we're seeing a very hefty roam game from DZ. They will be roaming in towards the bedroom, and I'm sure over towards the kitchen and dining also. Have that big hatch down there that teams will want to try and play for and try and fight for. It's not the, I would say, the greatest of lineups coming in from M80. It would maybe like a little bit more hard breach. Canadian opens up with the first pick, and Noodle almost lost his life to a C4. So a brilliant start for DZ, but Spoit gets one back in return, and there's still a roamer up here. We still have Canadian.
Bolo's going to come up solo and join him there.
Oh, he's seen the gun.
It looks like he knows that he's there, but he's going to have a difficult engagement, and he almost certain doesn't know about Bolo at the top of the stairs, but it isn't going to stop him from taking Canadian down. Bolo now has a decision to make, and it looks like he's going to try and get himself back to site. Very unsure here and doesn't want to get caught out on the rotation. He's really checking every angle here. The fact that trench doors closed is a benefit to him right now. The main worry is going to be big garage. We can see that nobody is in there, but the hatch is going to be open. Cameraman could choose to drop that, but instead Bolo is allowed to get himself back to the relative safety of the site. And again, look at the timing on this.
Scary there for Bolo, but gets back. M80, what is the plan going to be? Probably a hatch drop. In all honesty, they have the Habana. They can try and utilize the connector hatch to great efficiency. Citizen on the Deimos, if he can try and get an easy gunfight, get a scan off, that will help a lot with that man advantage. You can see where they want to plant. He's yellow pinged the cabinet, so that's where all the action's going to go. But there are no C4s left. There's nothing that DZ have to deny.
Bolo in prime position, comes out of ADS at the wrong time, but still finds a kill. Picks up the second on the vert. He's tracked this whole time. He's the pistol. He's rolling back the years. 3 kills on the round, and it's all down to cameraman. He's pushing through. He's aggressive. Bolo with the pistol in hand. A quad kill on the round.
2022 called. They want their Bolo back. We've taken him out of time, popped him into 2024. It's the best round he's had since he's came back.
A worthy clutch there for him. It was this kill for me, the one onto Citizen. Citizen's got the live information. He can relay it, but players can move.
They can't believe it. They've just done an emote in real life.
I'm not sure if Bolo can believe it.
Signature spin at the end there as well.
The little Bolo spin, we love that.
Oh, just a wave of nostalgia just hit me as that happened.
Brilliant round
I don't know
for
about
Bolo.
anyone else.
And a brilliant round for DZ. Think about that, they lost 2 on the row.
Yeah.
And Bolo was the player that was rotating up solar.
5 seconds remaining.
He spent so much care and attention to get himself back to site. And where M80 have been really good at cutting players off, if they know that someone's up there, there was no one there to cut him off. There was no one to stop him and give him a hard time getting back.
Just too timid from M80. They're giving just sloppy kills that really should just be dealt with, you know, via a drone network, people holding angles. You know, Bolo picked up the first kill right underneath vertical. You know, it shouldn't be happening, but M8 are allowing DZ to get away with quite literally murder in this instance. But we move. Round 4 is where we go. For M80, they need this round. I've said before, attacker-sided is usually how Chalet plays out, and they've already gifted DZ the expected 2. But that's only halfway point. There's still 3 more rounds that DZ potentially could pick up here.
What's so important about the 2-minute point of the round? I thought that's what we were counting down there. The crowd got the crowd got a bit ahead of it.
Maybe they know something we don't.
Cameraman's got himself a nice little spot here. Ossa Shield placed down in trophy. Great line of sight, and he can just start to build off this.
I love this attack right now. This is one I've never seen before. A trophy wall execute into an Ossa Shield plant. Using the Yings as cover. Cameraman takes a lot of damage, but he's still alive and can try and get the plant down. DZ now are scrambling. Oh, the shield's gone, but Cameraman's still alive. He will pick up his second shield and move into position. Citizen on the backstab coming up through West Main, but all of it's going to be on Cameraman. But he goes down to NJR. Canadian gets found out by Noodle. DZ apply the pressure. A 3 versus 3 now. A shield that Citizen's not aware of. NJR's having a field day of this shield.
NJL still in a prime position to continue to pick up kills. This is such a one-sided attack right now from M80. Everything's coming through that trophy and solar side. You can see that Noodle and Spoy, they're both trying to get back together, trying to buddy up a little bit here. 2 versus 3, it's very doable, but they need to find themselves a pick. Panda playing coast with the shotgun. He's going to take Spoy down. Noodle, going to know roughly where Pamba is, but They've already been separated. Allowing Dark Zero to break that down, and well, Noodle's options now are very few and far between. Try and transition here to the bottom of Solar, get himself into Trophy, but these long angles, there's only one way it's gonna go. Picks himself up a double on the round. Dark Zero are still separated right now. He can recover the diffuser, narrowly misses the shot. Nath, however, pinpoint accuracy.
My, oh my. What a round. The idea from M80 was good, but they just couldn't get that diffuser down. DZ reacted so quickly. They rotated their explosives around to destroy the shield. And look, we've all been in that situation before. You're trying to get the plant down behind your roster shield, and then an explosion just ruins the fun.
He was so close to it going down as well.
2 seconds off, something like that.
But you can't stick it because you're just going to get
No, you're going to get that. You're going to die.
And someone is going to take you out. Even with the Yin Candelas going over, you just can't afford to risk it. That was the final kill that did for cameraman NJR. He picked himself up a couple in that spot. He barely had to move his feet because of how one-dimensional it was and because of how quickly Dark Zero recognized that and shifted that utility. They were able to just 180 their focus and immediately get onto the problem at hand. And there was only really one problem that was there.
DZ storming away with Chalet.
5 seconds to go.
M80 lifeless. Someone needs to step up. Somebody needs to do it.
Where's the hype from round one?
Gone.
They came into round one, picked up the round, very convincing, huge burst of energy. The crowd got behind them, as the crowd tend to do when you see that energy on the stage. Replicate it, you match it, and you give a little bit back. It's been eerily quiet on the NA on the NA bench, on the M80 bench.
Oh, see a couple of footprints. Spoit on the hunt. Goes for the track. Who's he found? The Vigil. Oh, Canadian's actually coming towards him. No, never mind. Thinks against it. That was. This is a comedy routine. Maybe they've practiced this.
Ooh, Canadian just fires a couple of cursory shots his way and says, I know your game. I know where you're coming from. Bolo, he's got the hatch open as well to try and work with that. And Spoit just thinks, you know what? I am out of here.
DZ have been incredible at just not giving away silly picks. You know, any kill M80 have gotten, usually DZ have made them work for it and probably responded after that. There's just been nobody caught out in the open. Everyone playing together for DZ. They are giving M80 not a scrap to play off.
3 kills out of the opening 4 rounds, yet to find an opening kill in round 5, but it's a stat line that Dark Zero are dominating right now. Kino knows there's going to be a player tucked into Library, can use the Capital Fire Arrow to dislodge that player, shoot it on the ceiling, it will fall down, and Nath can get himself out. Fadeaway C4 potentially is going to get shot out mid-air. We nearly had a beautiful view of that. It's not actually displaced Nath though. Usually players will drop that hatch, and maybe that's what M80 are expecting here. Cameraman is going to find an opener here onto Bolo, going for a slightly different approach at dealing with that player on Fireplace. But with Nath still tucked into Library here, he looks fairly committed to this. Only now is he going to drop the hatch and narrowly escapes the bullets.
Oh, and a player drops. It's going to be a trade down. Nath is down. Can he get recovered, though? NJR would need to leave his position inside a connector. Never mind. Kino picks up the down kill. 40 seconds. Man advantage for M80. No Candelas left. They have smoke, Solly. That's really all they can use.
They're stacking up right now. It looks like they're going to try and drop that hatch. We've got Pamba playing on lower blue stairs. There's frost mats galore here as well. Remember, no such thing as a bad frost mat, especially when you start getting into this territory with only 20 seconds left. NJR tucked into stock, starting to feel the heat from above. We can hear the smokes going off, but he's still got the shield to work with. Pamba, he's in a key position here as NJR loses engagement. Pamba's got no choice but to try and make this swing, but cameraman's patient. Canadian, he's going to rotate himself back in, gets himself in a heck of a scrap with the stock player, but can't get through the first. There's the energy we wanted to see from M80.
If you leave the door open, you don't know what will sneak in. DZ need to be ruthless. They cannot allow M80 to get back in to this game. I mean, overall, the attack from M80, utility, I thought was used really well. I think Cameraman using the Candelas, getting himself in the strong positions in towards blue. You know, Nave tried his best to try and get some kills back, a great trade. But that was the important one. NGR gets those kills, that doesn't happen, we know that. But you have to look at Canadian, where was he that whole time? Missing.
NJR's already pulled Dark Zero through a few of those rounds in those power positions, picking up a few multi-kills. I think Nate's maybe gotten a little bit unlucky there in that round. His C4 got shot out at the feet of the player that he was going for.
Down trade as well.
Down trade. Just a couple of unfortunate circumstances there. But M80 capitalised on it, and that's what it is all about. You've got to take the opportunities that you are given in this game. And M80, it was a must-win round in round 5 for me, because if Dark Zero starts to go 4-1 up on a map like Chalet, let's not forget, this is M80's map pick. We're expecting them to be good on this map. We're expecting them to be good on the attack on this map. So far, the best they can do is an equal 3-3 split.
Here we go. Into our bar. Or not our bar, it's basement now, is it not? The basement?
Down in the basement.
Yeah, thought so. Don't think DZ will want to go back in towards that bar again. Spoit, an opening death, gives himself up to Pamba. And nobody from M80 is there to get the kill back.
Where was the info? Where was the pinch? There was nothing. They had no idea that Pamba was there.
This is the issue of M80. These solo plays can come in to hurt you against a very well-disciplined side that DZ is. You just can't be going in by yourself and expecting miracles.
You think about the Bolo round in round 4 when we last saw this site. All it took was him getting a couple of kills and getting himself back down to the site, and it was sealed and delivered. Finally, M80 get themselves hit on the board here. They're going to take Bolo down, but they've lost 2 players for that privilege.
They have. Now DZ can just retreat to the safety of the bomb site. M80, they will get control of that mid floor now, and they can possibly use the ramp, see if they can open up any of the vertical angles, but that man deficit, DZ can just try and use that to their advantage, play the trade game. Cameraman, perhaps after a bit of a push in towards blue, it could work out for him if he just wins that engagement, then you have blue control, and things really could turn in favor of M80. Hatch attempted to be opened by Kino, but Cameraman loses that one. Canadian with a shotgun. Hatch is open now for M80. In goes Noodle. Kino's going to join him. Both of them stacked up in the one room, but 4 players applying the pressure. Nobody from DZ wanting to move. Somebody's dashed across. Kino's screen as he tries to reposition, but he's lost his teammate. Nath has dealt with Noodle. A shotgun being tanked by Kino, but NJR will get him in the end.
And with a solid round from Dark Zero, they are really not overcomplicating this at all. Get out there on the roam, cause a little bit of trouble, get yourself back to site, and win in the man advantage.
4-2 split for DZ. Phenomenal. And now they have the attack. Look at that, Canadian. The jump out. Shotgun. Oh. Shot and a half there from Nath.
That's some crackers. There's been some good ones from everyone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, mid-80, no! Oh, they're not sure. A little bit wobbly. Guys, surely they... Come on. M8 have rebuilt again. Surely it has to be good. Come on.
This is the best showing that we've seen from M8 today.
It is.
They made it to
They
stage.
made main stage. Never done that before. But I think for the caliber of the players, getting main stage just isn't good enough. We know that. We've got 2 players on M80 who have won a major. We've got a guy who's also won a championship as well, in the former Citizen.
Well, as round 7 begins, as the turn of the half is going to be a turn of fortune here for M80, or a Dark Zero going to continue to tear away with this.
I'm reloading.
4-2 scoreline. Dark Zero get one on the board quickly here. You kind of fancy the chances in the series, and not forget, if M80 lose this map, that's it. Best of 3 done and dusted.
You're home.
We can't even say back to NA.
No.
Just back to all over the world.
2 of these players have to commute on a train. Oh boy. Yeah, M80 in the trenches. You could say in the mud. They need to get out of that. Castle barricades being opened up around Noodle, who will be coming into some engagements very soon. As you can see, this force from DZ approaching from the solar side. Pamba leading the charge with the Ying. Candela's in hand, can make for these quick, aggressive plays. Oh no, Noodle's caught him! It's on his phone! A freebie for Noodle on the castle. Spoit's upstairs with him. It's a massive kill in the grand scheme of things. Ying, what an operator to pick off.
NJR now trying to pick up the pieces from this opening pick that's gone against him, but he's just not too sure. Noodle got a glimpse there as players are starting to hop in now and get aggressive. Bolo put himself in through trophy